So this is quite literally where I've been riding my motorbike to every morning. It's about a 20-25 minute drive. And I come out here and I do Tai Chi every day. So let me show you around. I do my Tai Chi over here. I've just finished this morning. Now I need to go back down here. Tread carefully, I think is the answer. I don't know if you can see that. Pretty slippery if you're not careful. Yeah, this is my route to get up here, but also to get back down. I don't go down that way. That's the main waterfall, but I need to go that way over here. Okay, I'll talk to you after. So the good news is I made it down the waterfall. This is, can you see that there? That's where I need to make it down. The bad news, I don't really have a plan for this video. It's more of a follow-up on the video that I did yesterday. So if you haven't seen yesterday's video, 22 days ago today, so 3 weeks ago and 1 day, I was rushed into hospital, which was not fun. Thought I was going to die, made it through, and I just wanted to do a bit of a follow-up on that video really, because I talked about quite a bit, but yeah, there's some more. So since that time, I've been coming out here every morning, like 7 in the morning. I enjoy the motorbike ride, so my motorbike over there. There it is, see in the distance. It just feels so good to be grounded. I do like an hour to an hour and a half Tai Chi. This morning I did a little bit less, I did about 45 minutes, but that's still plenty. Even 10 minutes is great. But in yesterday's video I shared that it has been, I think I shared this in yesterday's video, it has been a heck of a year, and I think a lot of people might be feeling the same way. Maybe you're feeling the same way. Let me know below if you are. Regardless of what I've achieved in my life, I think that there's a misinterpretation or misunderstanding that once you achieve certain things that suddenly, oh, you're all set, you've made it. And my experience of that was that there's layers and there's levels, right? So you know, you reach like financial success and then you realize, well, actually that's not what it's all about. Or what I did is I self-sabotaged. Then I spent the last few years, 2.5 years here in Thailand, just getting back to me. But what happened was, about 1.5 years ago, is that I realized that there was a pattern that kept coming up within who I am. And that pattern, it's too bright over here, that pattern was me giving power away. So even though I was happy with my life, I was not making millions, but making enough to live a good life. I teach sales, and so I should be able to sell my own sales training. You know, amazing clients have been really supportive through the last 3 weeks actually as well, which has been lovely. But my point is that I don't know if I've got itchy feet or if it's ADHD, but I got offered an opportunity and I said, yeah, I'll do that. And it's a big contract. I realised in doing that I had to commit fully. So the contract didn't turn out to, I mean, it was great for many reasons. I met some amazing people, but it was like the universe or God, whatever you believe. I very much believe in God these days. Just reminding me, Pete, just stay in your lane. Like what you're already doing is already enough. And then I continued on that pattern, and I do know where the insecurity comes from. But I continued on that pattern, and when I finished with that contract, I had a business partnership. I won't even talk about the business partner, but the whole thing was just, again, I met amazing people, but the whole thing just turned into an absolute, like, stress. Far more stress than I ever wanted. It's all the things that I didn't want. You know, sometimes in life you work really hard to build what you want, and you're like, this is working, and then for whatever reason you just go, well, let me do something completely different. So I know that my stress levels were raised, 3 weeks ago. They have been for a little while, over the last year, to be fair. However, this ties in with what I did share again in yesterday's video, that I'm pretty sure I had COVID in 2020. I was the most sick I've ever been, didn't even know my name for 4 days, got rushed into hospital, and immediately after that I started having crazy symptoms with my body. Crazy. Like, I honestly wouldn't wish the symptoms on my worst enemy. And they'd never really gone. And I tried everything. I've invested so much money. I've seen 30 doctors in the UK. In Thailand, I see all these alternative medicine. And I healed for like 90%, 95%. But this year things started to creep back in again, and again those old patterns of behaviour. But actually what happened 3 weeks ago has made me really stop and reevaluate a lot of things. I've also been seeing a lot of doctors. The good news is, like, they've done a load of heart testing. My heart's in good shape according to all the tests. Like, my heart's in perfect shape, which is great. But everything is pointing, this is not a formal diagnosis, but everything is pointed towards something called MCAS, which stands for mast cellular activation syndrome, which in short, your mast cells are like your alarm system. And MCAS is when those mast cells and that alarm system keeps going off all the time. It constantly puts you in fight or flight. And COVID, yes, without being a conspiracy theorist, but certainly the studies show, and what I'm learning, that yeah, something like COVID can definitely trigger MCAS. And everything points to it, because I feel like constantly for 5 years now, I've had this adrenaline and this histamine going through my body. So what I've done the last 3 weeks is I've done everything to calm down, do Tai Chi every morning, simplify all areas of my life, and also go on a completely low histamine diet. And I feel infinitely better, like infinitely better. So it's early days, but to a point where I've not even had symptoms for like the last week at all. So I'm going to keep going with this. All right, I've come back from the mountain, set myself up having breakfast, editing the video, and I realised there's a few things I didn't talk about clearly enough in the video, maybe because I was just distracted with not slipping over, but I just want to share very quickly a couple of things. Number one, I did talk about this in yesterday's video. One of the big triggers for me, at least, is caffeine. And what put me in the hospital was that I'd not really eaten that morning. This is 3 weeks ago, 22 days ago. And I had a coffee way too strong, and I got this major anxiety here, like major anxiety. And so part of my new protocol is no I mean, I'm actually, like, I've not talked about this. So yeah, I've not drank alcohol for the best part of a year. I don't even know if it's been a year, I can't think. But I know the last few times I drank alcohol, I had such severe anxiety as a result. And then also it was a massive flare-up for symptoms. The symptoms were scary. I'm talking, this is about a year ago, where I'd only had a few glasses of wine. And then as I was falling asleep, I felt like I was being ripped out of my body. It's a horrific feeling. And then I would fall asleep and start to lose feeling in my arms and legs. All sorts of major symptoms. So coming off alcohol was just a no-brainer, because I'm actually scared now to have a drink. And the last time I had symptoms was the last time I had alcohol and then had symptoms. I only had, I think, 2 glasses of whiskey, like 2 shots of whiskey. And that was probably, I don't know, a long time ago. So alcohol is a big trigger, but coffee I know is a big trigger. And a lot of this can be related to gut health as well. I've definitely had something going on with my gut. As I don't know if it's a result of what happened in 2020, me getting sick. But what I noticed, like one of the symptoms, one of the telltale things is I'll have a coffee and I'll lose power in my voice. You can actually watch some of my videos. I'm not going to, I'll put it, actually I'm going to edit it in. Check out the first video where before a coffee, this was about a month ago, so about a week before I had this episode. You can see the first video and the power in my voice, and then check out the second video where it was on the same morning. It was about 20 minutes later, but the only difference was that I'd had a coffee and then I went to a second video. So let's watch that now. The problem is we've been conditioned to chase validation over profit. And that's why most are burnt out, exhausted. I'm about to rewire your entire mind for sales. Your belief system will never be the same again. All you need is one. Health is the number one thing at any point in our lives. And I think we take it for granted in our 20s, and a lot of people take it for granted their entire life. But for me, being 44 now, on the whole, I feel I'm so grateful, and I'm so lucky. You know, I'm very active, I feel good, but the last 5 years have been tough. They've been really tough. I've had to work through stuff, and then even a symptom has been if I train too hard, I get flare-ups. But I'm starting to connect the dots now that the flare-ups are a result not of the workout, but what I'm eating before and after the workout. So yeah, it's all interesting. But I want to share this, and we'll go back to me at the mountain now. It is not a formal diagnosis. I'm not here as a medical expert. I'm not here to self-diagnose. Just wandering around here. But I just want to share with you, because I think we're all on this journey. I think that, you know, we all try and put on a brave face. I was doing Tai Chi this morning and I kind of laughed to myself because I was like, in your 20s, you think you know everything. In your 30s, you do everything, this is my experience at least, in your 30s, you do everything to maintain that truth and that identity. And then in your 40s, you realise you know nothing, and actually you just surrender to all of it. And so it's been a big surrendering, for sure. Been a big surrendering in the last couple of years. A lot of things, a lot of stuff has happened, but it's been a big surrendering. So I don't know what the lesson is here. There's loads more I want to talk to you about, but I just don't think it's needed in today's video. It's just a quick update, really. Okay, let's head over to my motorbike. I love the ride back. The ride up here is beautiful as well, but knowing I've done my Tai Chi and I've got my feet wet, well, actually I get all up to my shins, where I do the Tai Chi, I do it in the water. It's amazing. And the ride back down the mountain's just beautiful. So a nice calm ride back down the mountain. All right, I will see you tomorrow.